Okay, so for the next lesson, we're going to be looking at reminding ourselves of what the purpose of our writing is and who we are writing for. So the purpose of our writing is to entertain the reader, to make them smile, to make them happy, to enjoy their books. We're writing for other children who might want to read our book. Here we've got some sounds, so we're going to go over these. So we've got E, sh, O, O. These both make the O sound. This is a split digraph. O and O. They both make the same sound. They've both got an O and an E. They are represented differently. E, sh, O, O. Going to do them out of order. O, E, sh, O, O, E. You can practice these with your child, maybe on a whiteboard, asking them what the sounds are. So we're going to remind ourselves of the story that we're going to be writing at the end of the block. If you want to join in with the words, you can start to do that. Once upon a time, there was a grumpy dragon. He was in a huff because he wanted to be a hero. He was fed up with capturing icky, frilly princesses and fighting brave, shiny knights. One day, he went for a walk through the woods and he saw the Gingerbread Man. He wanted to be a hero and save him from the mean, greedy fox. The Gingerbread Man told him to go away because there is no dragon in his story. Next, he saw a boy climbing a beanstalk. It was Jack. He wanted to be a hero and save him from the nasty, huge giant. Jack told him to go away because there is no dragon in his story. Suddenly, the giant sneezed. Achoo! It went dark. Then the dragon had an idea. He was scared, but he really, really wanted to be a hero. He took a deep breath and fire burst out of his mouth and he lit up the sun. A hero at last. Okay, so again, here we're thinking about changing the beginning part and retelling the story using the images to help us. So we've got one day, the dragon went for a walk through the woods and he saw the Gingerbread Man. He wanted to be a hero and save him from the mean, greedy fox. The Gingerbread Man told him to go away because there is no dragon in his story. So have a think, and you need to retell this story with your child using the pictures to help you remind you of what the words are. So one day, the dragon went for a walk through the woods and he saw the Gingerbread Man. He wanted to be a hero and save him from the mean, greedy fox. The Gingerbread Man told him to go away because there is no dragon in his story. So think about how you could change that one day or next or first and change the fronted adverbial in the sentence. Here we've got next. He saw a boy climbing a beanstalk. So I think maybe you want to change next to after that, after a little while, later that day. So I'm going to say next, he saw a boy climbing a beanstalk. It was Jack. He wanted to be a hero and save him from the nasty, huge giant. The giant told him to go away because there is no dragon in his story. Suddenly, the giant sneezed and blew out the sun. It went dark. So think about the fronted adverbial here, not just next. He saw a boy climbing a beanstalk. Maybe it was after a while he saw a boy climbing a beanstalk. A little while later he saw a boy climbing a beanstalk. It was Jack. He wanted to be a hero and save him from the nasty, huge giant. The giant told him to go away because there is no dragon in this story. Suddenly, the giant sneezed. Achoo! He blew out the sun. It went all dark. So what I'd like you to do with your partner and with your child is to practice saying this sentence using a different fronted adverbial at the front. Then the last part of our story is, then the dragon had an idea. He was really, really scared, but he wanted to be the hero. He took a deep breath and fire burst out of his mouth and he lit up the sun. A hero at last. So what we're saying on this one is, then he had an idea. Maybe you can say, suddenly he had an idea. After that, he had an idea. A moment after, he had a brilliant idea. So thinking about the fronted adverbial for this section. So then he had an idea. He was scared, but he really, really wanted to be the hero. He took a deep breath in and fire burst out of his mouth and lit up the sun. A hero at last. So on here is the whole story. We want you to be able to practice with your child saying the whole story using different fronted adverbials where possible, and if they want to include different adjectives they can do that as well. So here's our retrieval for the next lesson. So if you can use these images to help you retell the story with your partner, you should be able to use these to retell the first part of There's No Dragon in This Story. We've got, once upon a time there was a grumpy dragon. He wanted to be a hero. He was fed up with saving icky frilly princesses and fighting brave shiny knights. We've got some sounds here as well. So we've got some trigraphs. We've got your, ear, and some digraphs, e, ow, and it can also make the sound o. Your, ear, e, ow, o. So the purpose of our writing is to entertain the reader, make them happy, make them enjoy the story, and books and stories are for enjoying and making us happy, making us smile. To remind ourselves of what we're going to be writing, we're going to recap on the story, and if you want to join in, it will really help with your writing. We've got, once upon a time there was a grumpy dragon. He was in a huff because he wanted to be a hero. He was fed up with capturing icky frilly princesses and fighting brave shiny knights. One day he went for a walk through the woods and he saw the Gingerbread Man. He wanted to be a hero and save him from the mean, greedy fox. The Gingerbread Man told him to go away because there is no dragon in his story. Next he saw a boy climbing a beanstalk. It was Jack. He wanted to be a hero and save him from the nasty, huge giant. Jack told him to go away because there is no dragon in his story. Suddenly, the giant sneezed. Achoo! It went dark. Then the dragon had an idea. He was scared, but he really, really wanted to be a hero. He took a deep breath and fire burst out of his mouth and he lit up the sun. A hero at last. We have got some knowledge here. A noun names a person, animal, place or thing. And we are going to be looking at noun phrases today. So information about the nouns. The noun might be a person, animal, place or thing. A noun names a person, animal, place or thing. In our story, the dragon is the noun. We have then got one noun, the dragon. We could then have a noun phrase, a dragon or the dragon. We'll have two words, Noun is dragon, one word. A dragon is noun phrase. We can then have an expanded noun phrase. So we have got the noun in it, the dragon, and we've got an adjective to describe it. So we've got noun, dragon, noun phrase, a dragon, and then an expanded noun phrase, the grumpy dragon. It could have one adjective in it, or it could have two. It's expanding, making the information bigger about the noun phrase, about a dragon. So it could be a dragon or the dragon for a noun phrase, but expanding upon it, explaining what the dragon is like. He's grumpy or angry. So you might have noun, dragon, noun phrase, a dragon, expanded noun phrase, an angry dragon, or the grumpy mad dragon. Is adding information about the noun phrase, a dragon or the dragon. We're going to have a think about some adjectives about our dragon at the moment. So I will write some adjectives on my mind map, and then what I'd like you to do with your child is think of some more adjectives to describe him. So we can think of some colour adjectives first. So you might say he's red, orange, you might want to think about his size. Is he enormous? Or huge? Maybe you need to think about his personality. Is he grumpy? Is he mad? Or angry? What I'd like you to do is think about these adjectives that are on here and think of some more to describe the dragon. So on a piece of paper, a bit like this, I'd like you to write down all of the adjectives that you can think of that would describe the dragon in the story. Now what we're going to do is we're going to be writing not just the noun, so not dragon, not just a noun phrase, the dragon. We're going to be writing an expanded noun phrase. So we'll have at least 3 words in it. So my noun is dragon, my noun phrase is the dragon, and I want to think about some of those adjectives that you should now have written down and include them in your noun phrase. So I'm going to think about the colour of the dragon first. So my first expanded noun phrase is going to be the red dragon. So I'm counting out the words in my noun phrase, the red dragon. Now it's not a sentence, so I won't need to have a capital letter or full stop. So my first one is the red dragon. I might want to now think about his personality. Is he grumpy? Is he angry? Is he mad? So I'm going to have the grumpy dragon. Now I want to have a think about adding maybe more than one adjective into my noun phrase. He looks red, but he's also quite spiky. So I think my next noun phrase is going to be the red spiky dragon. If you have got two adjectives, you need a comma in between the two adjectives. So I'm going to have the red spiky dragon. So that is 4 words in my noun phrase. So what I'd like you to do now is write some of your own noun phrases, your expanded noun phrases about the dragon. We cannot have any verbs in it. If there are verbs in it, it doesn't become a noun phrase anymore. A noun phrase has the noun and if it's an expanded noun phrase, some description about it. So you cannot have the words was, because that is a verb, is, because that is a verb, or has. It's just the description about the dragon. My example here is the red spiky dragon. Next, we need to have a think about the gingerbread man. So we're going to do the same sort of thing where we mind map the adjectives about the gingerbread man. So I'm going to write my first one, which is tiny. Maybe I've got another adjective that means the same as tiny, so I might have small. There might be some other adjectives that you can think of for your mind maps in a moment that you can use to describe the size of him. I want to have a think about the colour of him, so maybe he might be orange. Possibly golden. And his personality, maybe he's cute or mischievous. And then also maybe because he's a biscuit, because he's a gingerbread man, what he would taste like, the delicious or the scrumptious. And you'll add these adjectives to your piece of paper to keep hold of, to use in your noun phrases. So again, our noun is gingerbread man. Our noun phrase would be the gingerbread man or a gingerbread man. But our expanded noun phrase is going to have some adjectives in it, some description. And the description will come from the adjectives that you've got on your mind map. So my first noun phrase is going to be using the word tiny. So I'm going to have a tiny gingerbread man. 4 words. A tiny gingerbread man. Maybe my next one, I think I'm going to do a cute gingerbread man. So I'm just going to have one adjective in that as well. My next one, I want to use 2 adjectives in it. I want to make it an even more interesting expanded noun phrase. So I'm going to use the tiny golden gingerbread man. The tiny golden gingerbread man. Okay? So I need to count out my words. The tiny tiny golden gingerbread man. I've got two adjectives in my expanded noun phrase, so I need to have a comma in between them to separate them. If you have a go at writing some of your own noun phrases about the gingerbread man as well as the dragon.